Everybody, my name is Steve Shields and I live in beautiful San Diego. Yesterday I had thumb joint replacement surgery. Sometimes it's called the TMC or the CMC procedure or surgery. Either way, it's when they remove the trapezium bone near the base of the thumb and do something to make it cushioned or work well, and mostly it's to relieve pain. I'm not going to talk about why it's needed. I think that anyone who's looking at this already knows that arthritis is kicking your butt, and something has to be done. This is a well-known procedure that they've done for about 20 years. In fact, my doctor, Dr. Alberton, has been doing it for 20 years. He's done over 400 of these. He does it a little differently. Normally they do what's called the anchovy procedure, which is taking this ligament out of your forearm and wrapping it through where the bone is and using it as a spacer where the bone was. You know, I really don't know what I'm talking about, but my doctor does something different. He drills a hole through a bone that is adjacent to the one that is removed. Those two bones were colliding together and causing the arthritis. And he uses that, he thinks it's more successful to wrap it around and do something there that, I hope he's right. Let's just say that. Anyway, I'm going to talk about what to expect the day after and maybe weeks after if I feel like doing this again. Let's talk about pain first. I'm looking at my notes. There was no pain the first day. The drugs they give you are pretty amazing. I was high all day. It was great. And so that was all okay. I was a little goofy, which was fine. Brought me back. Today it does hurt. I didn't sleep well last night. I had a kind of a unusual bad reaction to the painkillers. Made me itchy all night, so I slept rather poorly. So I'm trying to go off the narcotics and on to things like Tylenol or Motrin or something like that. It's not working that well. It's not, but my hand hurts a fair amount, but it's tolerable. And you need to keep it elevated for reasons you probably know. What else? Swelling. First day my fingers were red, they were swollen, they were numb, and they were hot, especially the thumb, and then a little less so on each finger on the way down. The little finger got its feeling back first, and even now, 24 hours later, my thumb still doesn't have total feeling back in it. It's still numb, it's no longer hot, but they are slightly swollen still. Yesterday, I could see, I could not feel anything. Tapping my thumb, I had no feeling. I could bump it into something, no feeling. I tried picking up a spoon, and I felt nothing when I was trying to pick up the spoon. I had to look into my hand and, oh, I actually picked it up. I was successful. Who knew? Anyway, that's about swelling. All this was told to me ahead of time by my doctor to expect that, so that was no surprise. Appetite. You don't get to eat after midnight before your procedure or drink anything, so I kind of expected to be hungry, and I certainly was when I got home. And I kept eating all day and night, so your appetite's not taken away. I watched other videos, which were very helpful for certain things. I'm doing this one partly because I didn't get enough information on what to expect afterwards and maybe a couple ideas of preparing before. That's what I'm hoping to do for you guys. I wasn't very thirsty. I drank because I needed to, not because I felt like it. Other videos had people saying that they were really, really thirsty with a dry mouth. I didn't have that. Anyway, I found out I gained 6 pounds yesterday. I don't eat that much. I'm not that big a guy. I didn't drink that much, but narcotics give constipation, and it made peeing kind of hard to do. I wasn't peeing much, so maybe that's it. I didn't see that coming. Let's just say that. Okay, some things. Driving. The doctor told me I could drive as soon as I'm off the narcotics, which in theory could be like now, today. More likely in a day or 2 or 3. So that's nice, being able to drive and not rely on everyone for everything. Same as work. I could go back to work this week if I chose to. My doctor suggested being off work for at least a week. Probably a good idea, but I'm going to take 3 weeks off because I'm semi-retired and because I can, and my job requires a lot of work with my hands. Itching. I'm using my wife's knitting needles to scratch under this. If you've ever had a cast before, you probably know about that. Excuse me, I gotta look at my notes here. A couple other things. Here's a suggestion I thought of, which was a good one, I believe. Get a haircut. See how pretty I look? Ahead of time. And get your fingernails cut and your toenails cut, especially you men, because it's going to be a bitch trying to get all that stuff done when you're in a cast or a wrap. And you might even do a little practice showering, drying yourself off with your one hand, putting some clothes on one-handed. My wife is going to be helping me a lot with things like that. There's other things that no one will help you with. The good news, the last thing is my fingers are very available to assist in doing things. I saw other people wrapped up to about here, and you had fingertips, and that wouldn't be nearly as useful as what we've got, what I've got here. So, I don't know, it's pretty good. 4 to 6 months is a long time for recovery, but if you are suffering the pain that I was, and some people are a lot worse, it's just something you got to do. Okay, maybe see you next time.